Okay, this is lesson 5.3. Today we're going to be identifying the slope and the intercepts of a linear equation. First, we're going to go ahead and go over the warm-ups. So do the warm-ups, pause the video, do the warm-ups, and then start the video back up again. Okay, the first thing we do, step one, we identify the x1, y1, x2, y2. And we need this right here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, as we said before, box minus box over box minus box. This one is y2. y2 is positive 2. y1 is negative 2. x2 is negative 1. x1 is positive 3. So now we get 2 minus minus 2, which is a positive 4, over negative 1 minus 3, which is negative 4. 4 over negative 4 becomes negative 1. 4 over 4 is 1. One of them is negative. Your answer is negative. Number 2, x1, x2, y1, y2. We don't need the last set of data. Now what you have to be careful on here is these are your x values. These are your y values. So make sure you label them appropriately. Again, box minus box over box minus box. Whenever you're finding a slope, box minus box over box minus box. y2 is 11, y1 is 7, x2 is 5, x1 is 3. 11 minus 7 is positive 4. 5 minus 3 is positive 2. 4 over 2 reduces to 2. So m equals 2. Okay, so for today's lesson, if a line is given to you in an equation and it's in slope-intercept form, we can graph that line quickly by identifying your slope and your y-intercept, and we can get the points we need to graph the line. M is slope. B is y-intercept. So if we identify our slope and our y-intercept, we can graph the line. Y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept form. You have seen this before in junior high. So let's put that right here. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, and it is the number next to the x. So the number next to x is your slope. Your y-intercept is your b. It is the number by itself. Okay, so here my slope is 2 over 3. That's the number next to my x. My y-intercept is 1. That's the number by itself. So now if I'm going to graph this line, the first thing I graph is my y-intercept. I graph the number by itself first, because that's where it crosses the y-axis, so I know where the y-axis is. Right here is the y-axis. And this is the y-intercept. Intercept means if you intercept a football, what do? You jump in front of the path that the football is taking and you catch the ball. You intercept the path that the ball is originally traveling. Well, here we're going to intercept this line at the y-axis. My y-intercept is 1, so I go to 1 on my y-axis and I put a dot. That's where this line intercepts the y-axis. That's why it's the y-intercept. Now, from here, I do my slope. Remember, the top number is up or down. The bottom number is right or left. 2 is positive, so that means I'm going to go up 2 lines. 3 is positive, so that means I'm going to go right 3 lines. When I get there, I put my dot. So this is what I did. I went up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. I make 3 dots. Okay. Now, after I make my 3 dots, I have to connect them, make it as straight as possible, put an arrow on either side because that goes forever and ever in both directions. That is my line. 2x plus 1 is this line right here. This line is 2x plus 1. That's all we're doing. We identify our slope. We identify our y-intercept. We graph our y-intercept. We do our slope. Boom, we have our line. Okay, so we have step 1. Identify slope. It's the number next to the x, not slop, slope. It's the number next to the x. 3 over 5 is the number next to x. That's my slope. Step 2. Identify your y-intercept. Okay, so next I identify my y-intercept. My y-intercept is the number by itself. It's negative 1. Negative 1. Step 3. Graph. That should be an H. Graph your y-intercept. I'm just going to put B. Graph your y-intercept. It's at negative 1, so I put a dot at negative 1. Step 4, from your y-intercept, plot your slope. What does that mean, plot your slope? My slope is 3 over 5. 3 is positive, so that means I go up 3. 1, 2, 3. Over 5. 5 is positive, so I go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I'm going to put my dot. Now, I have to do that twice because I need 3 dots. Now, the problem you might notice is I can go up 3, but I can't go over 5. Well, slope goes in both directions. So if both numbers are positive, that means both numbers are also negative. So instead of going up 3, I can also go down 3. And then over 5 to the left. And then I put my dot right there. Now I have my 3 dots. So the final step, connect the dots. Connect your dots. That's step 5. There we go. So it's a 5-step process. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is just a little check to make sure I'm right. Is this line positive or negative? Does it go up from left to right or down from left to right? It goes up, so it's positive. Is my slope positive? Yes. So it checked. Okay, you should be able to do 3. Should be able to do 4 and 5. You're going to do them exactly the same way. 6 and 7. Okay, let's look at 8. 8, what number is in front of my x that's understood? That's right, 1. So my slope here is 1 over 1, because I'll need to make it a fraction. My y-intercept is negative 1. So I've identified my slope and y-intercept. I go to negative 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, connect my dots, check, it's positive, my slope is positive, I'm done. Okay, if you have any questions, oh, wait, sorry. We still need to move on. I thought we were done. We need to identify the slope Y-intercept and X-intercept. Well, you already know how to identify the slope when you have something graphed. Here are my 2 points. Now be careful because these half lines, look at here. That's a 2, that's a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These half lines are actually holes. Okay? So how many do I go up? 1, 2, 3. So the top number of my slope is 3. And then I go over 1, 2. My bottom number is 2. That's a positive line, so my slope is positive. My y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Where does this cross the y-axis? It crosses right here. 1, 2, 3 at 3. What about my x-axis? 1, 2. It crosses at 2, negative. Crosses at negative 2 because it crosses right here. That's how I identify my slope, my y-intercept, and my x-intercept. Same thing. Same thing. Be careful. Let's look at number 14 real quick. My slope here, I go up 1. I go up 1. So my top number is 1. And then I go over 2. So my bottom number is 2. However, look at this line. Is this line positive or negative? It's negative. So my slope is negative 1 over 2. My y-intercept is right there at negative 1. My x-intercept is at negative 2. Okay, now we're done. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks. Have a good day.